What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our monthly 343 Labs Sample Challenge live on a Tuesday, like we usually do once per month. As I said, we team up with 343 Labs, amazing music school in New York, Berlin, and online. And at 343 Labs, we've also got this cool thing called 343 Studio, where even if you can't attend a class, you can dive in and learn from some of the artists in residence at 343 Studio. There's pre-recorded stuff. There is live collaboration sessions, live master classes. You can get one-on-one attention from different instructors. It's a lot of fun. So that's who we do this in collaboration with every Tuesday. And we usually select a favorite for a cool prize. I'll talk about that later. If you want to get access to this totally free and be a part of this each and every month, use the link in the description, head to 343 Studio and just sign up for a free account. There's some other perks that come with that free account too, so you can poke around and see what the platform has for you. But it's a really cool community regardless on Discord, different from my channel's Discord, so check that out. Totally free to join. Great producers on there, great community. And that's where we usually get our submissions, or that is where we get our submissions for the sample challenge. Each month, everybody posts. That's where you get reminded about the sample challenge. That's where you get the link to the sample, etc. So anybody can download it and have a good time. We are, of course, live from the new studio. Less tech issues today. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. I think we're doing pretty well on that front. Had some PC hiccups earlier today, but I think other than that, we're good. And it's nice to see everybody in chat. So what's going on? Oh, Max Wild himself in the chat. Love to see it. And hello, Wizlow. Isola Beats. Nice to see you. Falguna. Hello. Tiankong. Hello, Eric Clark, NK Armin. Chastity. My mom and dad are in chat as usual. Jose Loza became a channel member out of nowhere before the stream even started. Thank you, my friend. Superman Kuma. Katie Cat. Hello. For folks in my community, reminder, we will be streaming live on Thursday as usual, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Check my Instagram if you want to see what we'll be getting into on Thursday on my channel, live at 12 p.m. PST. And since this session right now, you have to have already created the track, flipped the sample, etc. If you are looking for just general feedback on your music, this Saturday I'll be having a track review stream, as we do every single month on my channel. We do that for members, so if you want to become a member and get feedback on your music, same deal. Become a member, you can join my Discord, and all that. Today we have a great prize to give to one lucky, or one of our favorite entries of the day. But I guess before we talk about that, we should say hello to our guest, our co-host for the past this is the third sample challenge. Please welcome Stella Key is here. What's up, Stella?
Hey guys. I'm so excited to be here again.
You're a great co-host. To hear You're back by popular demand.
Thank you. I'm glad.
How is summer in New York for a recent Berkeley grad and DJ and producer?
It's exciting. I've been doing some gigs this Saturday. I just played like a house music event. So last weekend, the weekend before last weekend, I played on a boat.
Whoa!
So that was really good. And then by sea boat, 4th floor. Played on a top deck for Dubs. I don't know if you guys know Dubs. They're a big producer duo, house music. So yeah, it's been exciting. Yeah, working on top lines and songs, all of that. Yeah.
Now you're telling me you don't get seasick DJing on a boat?
I was so focused on playing actually and having a good time that I just didn't really. It was a huge cruise ship, so it didn't really feel like it was moving a lot. So
right,
it was really fun. Yeah, it's definitely a highlight of my summer so far.
That's awesome. Sure. Well, thank you for joining me once again. We have a lot of entries to go through today. I think I don't know, since you've joined as co-host, we've gotten more and more entries as time has gone on. I don't know what that says, but just noticing that connection. So yeah, let's dig through. Chat is all saying hello to you, of course. And chat, as you can see, we got a lot on screen. I got chat, we got Stella over here, we got the Discord, as you can see. So just so you can all see what that looks like, that's the 343 Labs Discord. Max makes that post, announces, and you can see right there that our prize for this month is a license for Arturia's V Collection 9 bundle, which is huge. So thank you to Arturia for always being supportive of 343 Labs. They've been supportive of my channel as well. Arturia is a great brand. That V Collection 9, you all see me work with that all the time. So that is a great collection of plugins. If you love vintage synths, but don't have the budget to buy all these amazing vintage synths, V Collection's where it's at. Hello, Johnny Rodriguez. Hello, Hale. Hello, TI80 Mark, Kai, Falguna. I already said hello to Sony. Thank you for being here. Bill Doe. I think I saw Uncle Acid in the chat as well. Aiden Huckabee said, it's great Mellotron. Yes, there is a great Mellotron there. Ellie says hello from Canada. Hello, hello, hello. All right, my friends. So we're going to go through this today. We're going to listen to all the great music from the community in the order as they were posted. We're going to give our feedback. As usual, I'm just going to mute my background music. As usual, we will have producers of all different genres, of all different experience levels, and we always try to be constructive no matter what. So at the very least, hopefully everybody gets some nice constructive feedback, as well as getting their music played for the community, regardless of who we end up choosing as our favorite of the day that takes home the prize. I hope it's a valuable experience for everybody, at least, hopefully. So let's kick things off here. I got to rearrange my windows. We have a lot of music to listen to. As usual, about 3 minutes is our cap for listening to tracks. So if you submitted a track that's a bit longer than that, we might just listen to the first 3 minutes or so. And both me and Stella will be listening together, and we'll have some feedback for you at the end. So Stella, you ready for this? I have Skywalker with Hope first. You got that?
Let me just...
Or maybe let me know if I skipped something. All right.
I got it. Yes.
Perfect. And Audia's upload, Skywalker, great name. You might face some copyright issues in the future. However, we're not worried about that today. We're just worried about the music. All right, you ready to click play, Stella?
Yes.
All right, I'm hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, can we pause for a second, actually? Pause for 1 second. I forgot to play everybody the original sample. So I should do that first.
Yes.
Okay, folks, I forgot to play you all the original samples. So let's give a listen to that. Sorry, didn't mean to jump the gun, but Skywalker, we'll get back to you in a bit. So this was the sample that everybody could download, or you can still probably go download it and flip. 143 BPM. It's in A flat minor. Let's give this a listen. All right, so that is the sample we're working with today. I will be very interested to see how some people flip this, because it seems kind of locked into a genre, to be honest. Seems kind of locked into a certain sound, but I know the community can take things and run with them and totally transform them. So, okay, back to business here. Now let's listen to Hope by Skywalker. I'm pressing play from the beginning in 3, 2, 1, play.
Next to me, am I too blind to see? Am I living in a dream? I'm hopeless, loving you has never been the same. I've noticed that you've been playing games, standing next to me.
Obviously trying to appeal to Stella on this one, of course.
Too blind to see, am I living in a dream? I'm hopeless, loving you has never been the same. I've noticed that you've been playing games. Chasing shadows in the night. Hunt me down, I'll run and hide. Hiding for my life.
We are starting with a bang today.
Right there into my heart. Gets in and tears me apart. Chasing shadows in the night. Hunt me down, I'll run and hide. Hiding for my life. Chasing shadows in the night. Hunt me down, I'll run and hide. Hiding for my life.
A little half-speed ending there. We love to see it. Thank you, Skywalker, for that submission. Falguna in the chat says, a lot of the tracks will probably be like this considering the style of the sample. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure it's exciting for you, Stella, because I know you like the dancier tracks that we usually get here.
Yes.
What did you think of this one?
This one was very interesting. Very interesting combination of styles. Because the four on the floor feel and like the more techno vibe, and then blending in that with the more future bass, because the sample is more like future bass pop. So very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. I like that it had vocals. I wonder if the vocals were they original or sample?
I think they came from a sample pack from what I'm reading in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But good use of them.
Yeah, interesting.
There's
Definitely.
one, like in the beginning, I like the vocals a bit more. There's that one hook that talks about, what is it, Starlight or something. The main chorus hook. I thought it sounded a bit too dry for otherwise the track sounds like very big. And then that main vocal was kind of dry and dead center. So to me, I could have used a little bit bigger sound on the vocal there. But I thought otherwise the vocal fit very well with the mood of the track.
Yeah.
And halftime ending, I love that. That was great. Great approach as well. Oh, and that little drum fill. I love stuff like that because we have a largely just straight up synth and electronic track. And then to throw in that little acoustic drum fill in there, I thought that was very satisfying.
Yes.
Awesome. Skywalker, thank you for kicking us off with a bang. We are probably going to hear a lot of cool electronic, like more dancey stuff today, as Falguna pointed out.
Very excited.
Yes, very exciting. And the next one I have here down the line is Uncle Acid, who says, with a bit more acidic approach for the sample challenge, as we might expect. Hope this makes some of you move. Well, let's see, Uncle Acid. Let's give it a shot.
I like the name Stellar Keychain.
See, they're just pandering at this point. They're just pandering. All right, we ready to give this a play?
Yes.
All right, click and play in 3, 2, 1, play. Folks, let us know what you think of the tracks in chat. If you hear something you like, head to the artist's page. Give them a follow. backing up. In the track. Making you move, let Uncle Acid know. It's making me move for sure. All right, Uncle Acid bringing us the acid as usual. Thank you for that submission. All led in chat says could be my first time hearing acid genre. Yes, you'll know it because you'll hear that bass synth, the 303, that very chirpy synth. That is the giveaway for you to know that it's acid music. All right, Stella, what did you think of Uncle Acid's stellar keychain?
I liked it. Again, very interesting. I like the use of panning and special effects on the sample. It was being panned and the reverb, and that made it interesting. Towards the end, it was getting a little bit repetitive.
I agree.
So I thought maybe chopping the sample or like cutting it, or using it in different ways throughout the arrangement would have made it a little bit more.
For sure.
Add a little bit more movement, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment 3/4 of the way through where I was hoping for a bit more. And especially since towards the end, like maybe in the last 30 seconds, there ended up being some interesting little sound design, like percussion, incidental kind of things. And I think if Uncle Acid had leaned into that a little bit more, and maybe devoted a section to doing a little bit weirder sound designy stuff, and then maybe coming back to the more, straight up sample and bass and beat and all that later, it would have provided like a little breakaway from that main groove. Something to think about. But I thought some of that cool stuff at the end, some of the cooler sound design stuff, could have been taken a bit further, and we could have had a little bit more focus on it. But other than that, the community was loving that track. Uncle Acid, this is great. Really, it just sounds really good. I'm not a huge Acid fan, but it had me moving for sure. So you succeeded in that. All right, Uncle Acid, thank you for that submission. We're gonna keep things moving because we got lots of music to listen to today. Next one is by our friend Subzero. It's a trap soul beat with some Indian flavor as usual. Synthy bass. Hopefully you guys like it, and it didn't come out horrible. I used the sample 3 ways. One each way, their own during 2 separate verses, then combine them together with some of the transitions. All right, I'm not sure what that means, but we'll figure it out, of course. All right, Subzero. Can't wait to hear it. Let's give this a listen. Ready to click play? All right.
Yes.
Subzero with Glide. 3, 2, 1, play. Nice. Great rhythm. listening. I really love the tabla's rhythm. Subzero, my friend, we're back to our old bad habits of mixing things that are in different keys. It was okay at the beginning when you were transitioning, and it's even okay now that we're transitioning to just a new key, but you can't have them over each other. All right, Subzero, thank you for that submission. Glide. I am, of course, harder on you, Subzero, because I've heard a lot of your music over the maybe years, and we've had lots of, and you have shown great improvement over the past few submissions. But of course, I gotta give it to you straight and let you know. Of course, these sweet chords. I really love the sound of whatever keyboard sound that is. Maybe it's a sample matched with the tabla's rhythm, and then with the trap hi-hats and things grooving around it. That all is really strong, really good. And I don't even mind as it starts to transition. Like at a certain moment when the synth is just playing a single note that could possibly be in key with that original chord pattern. That was kind of interesting. And then it transitions to kind of the key of the sample from the sample challenge. It's interesting to transition in and out of those. And then you transition back to the original groove, which is cool. But then those start to get overlaid again and they just clash. So you have to pay attention to that. And you shouldn't feel like you absolutely have to do that. And it feels like the sample was included for the sake of the sample challenge, not really for the sake of the music. There's good ideas in here, but they need to be separated from each other, I think. Stella, what did you think of this track?
Yeah, I agree. Also, I didn't really hear the sample. Like, it didn't really get that attention. I feel like it was used in different ways, but I couldn't really hear the sample, which is fine. I like the percussion again. Really great job on that. And then, yeah, you could hear that part where it was clashing a little bit. It was really like in your face, kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Other than that, great job. Yeah.
Thank you, Subzero. Yeah, and for anybody who's doing these sample challenges, try to use the sample and make it necessary for your track. You don't have to center it in your track. It doesn't have to be the most important thing in your track, but try not to just throw it in there. Make it like an actual thing that feels like it belongs, as if this was not a sample challenge, as if you weren't just using it because you were challenged to, as if it, was supposed to be there. That's my recommendation. And here, Subzero, it sounds like the sample was just used for the sake of using the sample, and then there's some cool Subzero tracks in between, and then we cut to these sections where the sample is being used, and it kind of doesn't really fit. But other than that, if you lean, like I tell you this every time you submit, if you lean into the strengths of combining different, you have trap soul here, combining that genre with Indian percussion, if you lean into that, lean into your strengths, you will go very far as a producer. All right, let's keep it moving. We got more. Overclouded is up next. It looks like they halved the BPM chilled it down. Was EDM, but chilled it down, they say. Cut the BPM in half, transposed to C minor. Sounded more chill. This is Overclouded's second beat. Hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot here, taking a risk. Hope everything sounds good. Well, even if you did shoot yourself in the foot, we will give you some constructive criticism so that you can do better next time. But who knows? Maybe you did great. Regardless, let's give it a listen. I'm clicking play on cooldown in 3, 2, 1, play. The half speed is feeling better than I thought it would for the sample. Hey, what's up, Juma in the chat? Thank you for joining. For a second beat ever made, this is not bad at all, Overclouded. I love this little synth. It's like a reversed sound. Really interesting. Was not an easy sample to turn into something chill and with kind of a low-key vibe, but even though you probably only used like a small part of that sample in there, it was very evident what it was. But it worked for the chill vibe, and I thought all the different parts you picked were good as well. I think maybe we could have got some more energy in the drums, something to drive us forward a bit more, rather than kind of slogging, stepping through. Even though it is a slow song, you can still propel it forward. But in terms of being kind of our first down-tempo, low-key version today, not bad at all. And in terms of it being your second beat, not bad at all. And I think what most other beginners can take from this probably would be that the minimal aspect, and not trying to do too much. So many beginners try to throw everything in there and try to, mix too much, and it ends up sounding bad. But this track takes its moments, has very clear elements, it has its keys, it has its rhythm, has that sample in the background, and it has that little lead synth. So it's like, keeps it simple, which I think is important. What did you think, Stella?
I agree. I really like the chill, melancholic vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of, not dark, but
almost
little
like ominous.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that. I think maybe like some kind of rap would fit on this, some kind of vocal to make it a little more interesting. I know it was lo-fi, but at some point some sounds sounded a bit muffled, like there was this water or rain sample going on.
Yep.
I think that took a lot of space. Maybe some EQing to that would have make it a little more cleaner.
For sure.
But other than that, I like the slow melancholic vibes.
We see that all the time in lo-fi. So folks out there, if you're using like a field recording in the background, kind of sweep some of those mid-range vocals out, and especially the low end. There's a lot of maybe usually some wind noises or just extra low rumble that we don't need in our tracks because it occupies so much space. So always be careful of that. But well done, Overclouded. I would say you did not shoot yourself in the foot. So let's keep it moving. The next one we have is by Xenopus. Big synth stab in the drop is a Nexus preset. The sound is similar to Stella's sample, but it's not constructed from it. The vocals came from Splice. Okay. This is Closer by Xenopus. Wait, you made this sample. I just realized that. The sample that everybody's flipping?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I did not realize
from
that.
One of my songs.
Got it. It's from one of your songs.
Yes.
Oh.
I never released that song, but it's from like
Oh.
an older song from like a few years ago.
That's kind of a smart idea. Do you ever release any like sample packs or anything?
I think I should do that.
I think you should, because you
I
could just
like,
take songs you never put out or finish and just like
Yes.
use it for something.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. All right, let's see what our friend Bill here has going on with Closer. I'm clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting. Tracks like this, well, first of all, I like that it sounded like the dubstep was trying to break through the whole time but never quite got out of the cage. It's like dubstep is like this beast trying to break out or break in. And tracks like this, I just hear like I can see sweeping drone shots of a car in the sunset, and it's like a car commercial, right? With like voiceover, like check out the new Mazda XT, whatever. What did you think of this track, Stella?
I liked it. I like the huge synths. I'm a big fan of that. I feel like it was a little bit of too many genres and sounds in one track.
Sure.
So it didn't sound as coherent as one track. So I would like to hear it. Also, when the big synths were playing, I feel like there could have been a bit more sidechain. So when the kick hits, so that the synths are like gone and back. So there's more balance and more movement. Just what I personally really like to do. A lot of sidechain. And also somewhere towards the end there was like a genre change again, like a switch. Right. And that was also a little, I feel like, out of place maybe.
Killed the momentum a little bit.
That's my, but really great job on making the sounds sound really big, like the synths, and I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, cool.
That was really cool, Bill. I don't think we've heard anything like that from you in the past. It's really intense. Man, those chord stacks hit hard for sure. Zoniman chat says this track reminds me of early to mid 2000s PlayStation games in the best ways. And then someone mentioned I could hear this like on Rocket League or something. Yes, it definitely sounds like a song that would be in Rocket League for sure. That's so cool. All right, well done, Xenopus. Well done. As usual, folks, if you hear tracks that you like, please head to the artist page, show them some support. Not to mention, our own guest's Instagram link is in the description as well. So please visit and support Stella's page. You'll find her link tree and everything there. Find Stella's music. And of course, if you all are like, what's going on here? How do I even enter this sample challenge? We do this every month. So make sure you're part of the 343 Labs Discord. You'll get access to the sample challenges as well as a great community of fellow music producers from around the world. Anyway, let's keep things moving. I got Isola Beats here with Second Seance Science Solution. All right. Seems creepy, if I'm being honest. But nonetheless, the sample pointed me straight away to a drum and bass. All right, so we got a drum and bass track coming up, I guess. Let's give this a listen. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. Things are getting epic? Maybe? Certainly has a cinematic sound. minute mark, and we have a lot of music to get through today, and I'm just going to pull down the volume a little bit as we talk over the end here. I thought in general, the world of sounds you have here, Isola Beats, very cool world. It's cinematic, almost like I think I've played a game with a similar soundtrack, like a cool flight simulator. It's almost like a bit of a 90s flair, like it's drum and bass, but it reminded me of a little bit of like kind of 90s jungle music, though it's definitely not a jungle track. It's got some interesting elements in there for sure. There's that part where there's that super high vocal, which you didn't overuse, and I applaud you for that. It just, you used it at key moments. To me, it sounded like Grimes, which I'm a big fan of Grimes, but mixing wise, I can hear sort of the warping in it or whatever. So just kind of maybe try to mix it a bit better. There might have been a little bit too much low end in that high vocal thing. But I thought it was a cool musical idea regardless. And other than that, arrangement wise, I just think it got a little bit repetitive. I could have heard some more. It could have been more variation. What did you think of the track, Stella?
I agree with everything you said. I also think it could be great game music used for game music for sure. Some horror game or some scary games. Yeah. And
the thing about that is it also doesn't really, like if it's game music or if it's like some type of score or background music, like the length and the more mellow arrangement might be okay because, you know. Yeah, it wouldn't matter if it's like like even repetitive or like repeating the same sample. So true. But Isola Beats, thank you. That's kind of different than anything that we've heard today. So well done. I mean, pretty much each track that we hear in these challenges is like kind of different from artist to artist. But the next one we have is by Wert. Hashtag new to this. Listen to the sample, found some drums I liked, flipped it a couple different ways, and added a couple more layers. All right, so Wert is new to this. We got a short little 1 minute track here. Let's see what Kurt came up with. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. I know some people tuned in halfway through. Of course, you'll be able to rewind this and watch again. It will be live on the 343 Labs channel after we go live, youtube.com/343 Labs. Zonima, thank you for being here. Sounds like Nish. Hello. Nathan Simpson says Splinter Cell music. Yes, I think that's a good idea. Puri says 100% 90s D&B inspo. Yes, could tell for sure. And I think that's cool. Same way the lo-fi that I make is meant to be nostalgic. I think some of that 90s drum and bass and jungle stuff is nostalgic as well. Steve's asking about the sample, so maybe you all can answer if you all have questions for each other. And Juma's here. Karnas Champion, hello. Nice. Thank you all for being here. Okay, anyway, let's listen to Wert's track and see what we think. I'm pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting. That big ending bass thing. Wert, thank you for that submission. We know that you are new to this, so congrats on your like exploration of electronic music and music production. It's cool that this all came together like it did. It almost reminded me of like Daft Punk at first. There's a lot of cool. I think this is mostly like probably an experimentation, like a just almost like a sketch of trying different things. So for me, if I give you feedback, it's just like lock in some of those music theory fundamentals, because there are a few things. It didn't matter because didn't matter too much in this because it was kind of sparse and things coming in and out, but there was some different stuff playing different keys coming in and out. But otherwise, I think that there were some interesting experimentations here. I don't know. What did you hear, Stella? What can we tell Kurt to go for?
I agree. I think it was more like a sound palette of different, like trying different things with warping the sample and reversing it. And I think that's a great way to start making electronic music. So
for sure,
great start point.
Yeah, I think keep going with these experimentations, and then as you learn the different techniques, just try to apply them to like an actual coherent song and arrangement, etc. That's how you'll get to the next level and start studying some of the music that you listen to and what you like about it. Okay, let's keep things moving. I think somebody told me that the Discord link is expired. I don't know if anybody can confirm that, but if that's true, I am spamming the Discord link right now. That is a link to the 343 Labs Discord. It's in chat. Grab that if you don't have it. And I ran a poll. Let me see the poll. I ran a poll. I usually listen to hype dance music or mellow chill music. And I hate to tell you this, Stella, mellow chill music winning by about 10%. 55% mellow chill, hype dance music 45. That's all I'm saying.
Disappointed. No, I'm kidding.
Peace and love, peace and love. All right, let's keep it moving. Kurt Wert, well done. JV, Jamaican style beat. See, we don't know what we're gonna get in this challenge. Always something different. Joakim, JV House. All right, the real thing. JV dub mix. Here we go. I'm pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. What's up, Manuel in chat? Hello. Well done, Joakim. Well done, well done. That was a great mix, for sure. What did you think, Stella?
I think it was really interesting combining the genres. So kind of reggae and also a bit lo-fi. And
Yeah.
also using the sample and having vocals. Very interesting. It definitely didn't get boring, and I liked the structure as well. There was an interesting structure going on. Maybe the drums could be a little more, like hitting a little more harder, more punchier for this genre. So that's my only thing,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, overall, like such a great mix, such a great sound. Ready for the dance floor, ready for the radio, probably. I thought towards the end I could have used a little something more. It kind of goes like for the last minute straight through with those, with a vocal line kind of all the way through to the end, and it sounds pretty good. But it's a little like it loses its momentum a little bit. It picks back up in the last maybe 15 or 20 seconds. So maybe it could have been a little something else towards the end, but I don't know what that is. Regardless, I think there's a great sound here. It's different than anything that we've heard today. And yeah, just that combination of genres and taking that original sample, turning into something like that is super impressive. So well done,
Very
JV.
creative and unique as well.
For sure, exactly.
For sure.
Well done. Let's keep things moving because we got quite a few more tracks to go. Bourbon is up next. Experimental video game trap beat. Interesting. Was playing some COD Warzone. I wanted to create a trap beat with some video game / robotic vibes, and this came out. Interesting. You play many video games, Stella?
Not really.
Not a gamer. Oh, okay, fair enough. See?
No, I'm not a real gamer.
All right,
Sorry.
they're slowly coming back to my side. Perfect. All right, the one-up robot. Let's give this a listen. I'm clicking play in 1, 2, 3, play. Mixing is tough. Be careful. The key is weird. Those background vocal things are a little strange. It's very like sweet candy sounding, but when you were talking about video game trap beat music and mentioned Call of Duty, I expected something a bit harder and darker. This is very kind of light and happy. Major key, you know? Rhythmically and drums wise, there's some really interesting things happening, and the melody is very sweet. Piri in chat says cute melody. Yeah, I agree. I think what often happens is we start with some type of concept and we get lost from that concept as we get on in the production process. So you think video game music, so we start to think, 8-bit sounds or like super electronic-y manipulated sounds. and then you get that harder bass in there, which is probably where the like Call of Duty, like harder electronic music influence came in. But it ends up being an amalgamation of like in the moment, what are video game sounds? Quick, grab them, and then try to put them all in a blender. And it doesn't always come out good if the clear vision and execution isn't there. And then there's, of course, the music theory fundamental stuff where it's like some of these things are just out of key, like the vocal sample. So it's like a little bit too many things trying to happen all at once. I don't know. What feedback do you have, Stella?
Yeah, I agree. I think the key clashing kind of threw everything off a little bit. So that's definitely one thing that we want to make sure you pay attention to. Other than that, I get the idea of the 8-bit video game sound, but as you said, I would have expected something a little more harder, like when you say a trap style. So
right.
Yeah.
I think like just vision and concept is important, and having a very clear idea of that before you start working is important so that you don't meander off into all these different areas. Now, as you start working, the concept can change, but as long as you're being like conscious and deliberate with that change, it's okay. But it's where it's like you start to lose focus and you keep making the track. It gets blurrier and blurrier as you start making it. And that's where it starts to be messy. But yeah, clear concept to start, and definitely maybe reference tracks, which give you a set of rules for like, okay, these are the types of sounds that I'll be using. Like even something as simple as that will help the thing sound more coherent. And of course, along the way, you'll make your own creative choices. But as long as they point towards a single North Star, you'll have a much more coherent sounding track. Next in the list, we have Find Basil. I used the sample cutting it single note, added effects, and created an alien pluck. Interesting. I'm excited to hear this from Find Basil. And the track is called Aliens vs. Humans. So let's go ahead and give this a play. In 3, 2, 1, play. Hey, what's good, Viral Beats in chat? Nice to see you. All right, aliens versus humans. Let's run a poll. Interesting. Well, Stella, I have bad news. I've run a poll and I asked who will win the war, aliens or humans, and 63% aliens. So we're out of luck.
Shit.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. Thank you, Fine Basil, for this submission. I thought it was a very well done, purposeful arrangement. It had a very nice shape to it and kept the energy moving through the whole way. Very epic and cinematic. So I think that concept definitely came through. I think the trap elements with also like the almost 80s synth elements worked really well. I wonder if it could have gotten more aggressive towards the end. Maybe we could have peeked through with some a little more, aggressive synths, a little more hint of more future bassy or dubstep-y kind of sounds to represent those aliens invading or something. What did you think, Stella?
I feel like the sounds were a little muffled, so I wasn't sure if this is the lo-fi approach or is it supposed to be the more harder electronic future bassy sound. So for me it felt like more lo-fi because I felt like everything was a bit muffled. The snare, like the synths, everything was quiet and muffled and not really bright and out there as you would like expect with future bass or more electronic trap stuff.
Yes, and I think it could benefit from the brighter stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Even though like there is that retro futurism, 80s vision of the future, which I kind of get, but I think later on, like it alludes too much to modern genres to be fully in that lo-fi space, I think. Something to think about conceptually for sure. And I thought there were certain mixing things, like there's lots of like filter sweeps and stuff, and sometimes that makes certain things poke out a little bit too much. So just be careful of that when mixing Fine Basil. But other than that, cool concept, very cinematic. We've had quite a few cinematic concept tracks today, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and there's also a YouTube video in the Discord. If y'all want to check that out, you can see all the VSTs and effects that Fine Basil used. So you can all check that out. So wait, I need to scroll back up and figure something out. So this is where that got. So we had like a submission from a person being like kind of like super disrespectful to other people's submissions. So I'm just gonna skip their submission if I'm being honest. So Mystery Man, maybe we'll get you next time. But double check your attitude in the community, my friend. I saw that at the beginning, and I just want to skip that for now. So Sam is our next submission. Audius, that's why. From Sam. Hello, this is my contribution to the sample challenge. Great sample, by the way, too inspiring. What I did was I used the sample several different ways, chopped it, and also using a glitch processor to make a kind of ostinato always present in the background. All right. Let's check that out. That's why 343 challenge Samantha mix. Let's give this a play. I'm clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play.
I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have.
Very cool poppy sound.
I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why all these bad bitches wanna clap for me. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why all these bad bitches wanna clap for me. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why all these bad bitches wanna clap for me. I'm a catastrophe, I'm the man I have to be, that's why all these bad bitches wanna clap. All these motherfucking bitches all up in my lane, yeah. Tryna move this motherfucking money out my way, yeah. I was stacking up, I was trying to get some.
The vocal is a sample, by the way. Sample.
Always get the taste and get away. I've been trying
Very interesting. What did you think of that one, Stella?
I think the vocal was quite catchy. It really grabbed the attention. Like, definitely my attention was like almost fully focused on the vocal just because it was
Right.
catchy. I'm guessing it was a original.
It says it is
Vocal?
from a sample pack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like the cinematic elements, like the strings, I don't know if that really fit the same vibe as the vocal, as the beat. Maybe that was a little.
It's
I
interesting.
expected something else when it started. Let's say like that, and
Yeah.
then the vocal came in. It was a little difference in genre, but overall, the vocal was good. It was catchy, grabbed my attention.
Yeah, it's
The
like
instrumental,
mixing.
maybe.
It's mixing the hip hop and the electronic stuff.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do well. So
Sure.
I feel like, yeah.
There were moments when I thought the vocal was like a little bit too repetitive, like maybe in the first verse or something. I'll forgive it though a little bit because I think this is a really good example of like for folks out there making beats that are really meant to have a vocalist on them. If you do a good search and you find the right sample packs with the right acapellas and stuff, it might not be what the final song is. You might want to find an original vocalist to be on the track, but at least having that substitute in there gives people such a better vision of what's possible on that beat. And especially if you're submitting music to something like this and you made a beat that's meant to have a vocalist on it, if you submit it and it doesn't have a vocalist on it, it might seem a little bit boring. But like Stella was saying, with her focus being on the vocal, I think otherwise this beat would have been a little bit boring without that top line on it because it's meant to have a top line, you know? And it seemed like chat was very much enjoying that track. I think people seem to like the strings, like some of those dry strings at the beginning. It's interesting. I know producer like Jack Antonoff does that a lot in his productions. I think it's going that direction, and then it has that sort of little bit synthy elements throughout. So I thought it was like a little bit interesting that it's straddling those genres, but very cool.
Yeah. There's
song.
one producer called Apasha. He does that really well, like mixing very heavy trap, even dubstep with orchestral strings and all of that. It's really cool. It's really hard in my
What did you say the name was?
Apasha, Apashe, Apasha. Yeah, he's a really cool producer.
Check it out, friends. Oh, and somebody is also a fan in the chat as well. Cool. All right, let's keep it moving. We got Falguna up next. Falguna, long time no see, my friend. Hope you've been doing well. Let's get it. Oh, this is a YouTube link. Cool. All right. Let's give this a play. In 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. right, Falguna. If y'all were not awake, you sure are now. Well done, my friend. Well done. Very cool. Stella, I saw your head nodding. I saw movement. What did you think?
Great job. Yeah, I think the sample was also like used very clearly. I could hear it being like an important part
Yes.
of the song. So I really like that. And everything else supported it in like the same vibe and same genre. So I really liked it.
Yeah.
Maybe some mixing things here and there, just making the sounds even brighter.
Yep.
Maybe the bass could have been more distorted, so it would have like hit harder. You know, just like small mixing things. But other than that, good arrangements, good use of the sample, good vibe. The samples supported each other, all the sounds coherent. So
Yeah.
great job. Yeah.
Totally. Falguna, I'm wondering, I think you did this, but you took the melody from the sample, I assume, and like kind of played it on some other synths to support it, I think, which I think other people, other participants, people doing these sample challenges should definitely consider doing. The sample is playing one musical idea, but it doesn't have to be the only thing playing that. You can support it with other instruments and you can pass it around from different instruments and it makes it feel more cohesive with the track, which this is an example of a track that uses the sample in a way that sounds like it belongs in the track, like it didn't belong anywhere else. And well done. And then once we get to that total dubstep switch up at 120, why do we like music that's like so aggressive and so like, you would think like so annoying. You would think like these sounds are so annoying, but when it hits so hard in a track like this, like it just sounds great. Why do we like music like this?
Our ears like loudness and hearing loud sounds.
And like strangeness and unpredictability, I think too. It's just like so refreshing. And it goes full Skrillex vibes for me after we hit that hard drop at 120, you know, those hard synths. And then we switch right into like a guitar and piano sweet part. Like that for me is like full on Skrillex. But that was an example where it's like, I wonder if the back half of the track could have used like a top line melody or something, like a really like dope pop female vocal or something. Just something to think about. But otherwise, as an instrumental, I think it works too.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome, Falguna. Falguna, don't be overly humble in the chat, my friend. Don't be acting like you're scared about your submission, etc., etc. If it's gonna sound this good, come on, bro. Be realistic. Goes both ways. Some people have overconfidence and think their track is so good and it's not really that good. Some people have not enough confidence in their track is dope and they are worried about submitting it. So don't worry, you can have your confidence, Falguna. All right, the next submission, Wayward Ambience with Everlong Forest. Let's give it a play. In 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting. I'm unsure about the sample, chat. Oh, Wayward Ambience says the sample was used to create the ARP instrument. Got it. There's some little creepiness happening, and I don't know what it is. Scary clown vibes. Interesting. I don't know what to say about this track, really. There was some creepiness to it, and it was like maybe some stuff was a little out of key, but maybe it was like intentional. I also don't know if it was out of key or if some releases were just like a bit long, so they were hanging over to the next. Yeah. But
there are two melodies going on that were clashing. Also, I didn't know what context I would like place the song in.
Exactly.
Like, in what context I would listen to it, because there was some stuff were like sounding happy and some stuff were sounding creepy, so it was a combination of happy and creepy.
Yes.
So I didn't know what context I would listen to this. So
yeah, so that's why I think of it more as like something that would work as a score or some type of game or animation or something that does have a happy or creepy vibe. Now I do think it should be a bit more focused because it is like a bit meandering and everything is like very straight ahead. Like the ARP is like dot 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 dot, like quite robotic, and the beat is just sort of like the same throughout. And a little bit I wonder if this wasn't meant to be a beat, like if there was not that typical backbeat to it and it just leaned more into the creepy synth vibes and a little bit more into the ambience that's in the artist name, Wayward Ambience. I wonder if it could be a little more focused. Right now it sounds like it's trying to be a bit too many things at the same time. But taking the sample and turning it into a one-shot instrument, making it into an ARP, I think that's a good use of the sample. I think it could have just been a little more creative than that straight-ahead arpeggiator, you know? But if you were going for a creepy circus clown, strange vibe, I say you were successful in that. All right, Wayward Ambience, thank you for the submission. Let's keep things moving because we have like 5 more submissions. Tiankong is up next. Chopped the sample and made a chord progression, then built the song around that. Chill future bass. I'm curious. It's called Missing You. Let's give it a play in 3, 2, 1, play. Hello, La Trauma in chat. Whoa, that was interesting. To me, the track got better and better as it went along. What did you think of it, Stella?
I liked the vocal sample that was being used throughout the track, and the way it was processed. It was really nice. It was really interesting. And yeah, the tension was building up as it was going further along the track. So I really liked that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We've heard a few tracks today that have that little hint of like that hard bass sound, that hard like little dubstep wobble coming through, which is interesting to hear. Multiple tracks having that. I think it's a factor of like the sample putting us more in an electronic direction, I think. But I especially like that first drop that happens at like 1:30 because it's almost like an anti-drop. Where it's like, we've had tracks like, I think of the one with the giant chord stacks from earlier, where the drop comes in and it's like, psh, like it blasts in. And then this drop, where that beat finally comes in, everything's like a little bit mellow and slightly held back. And that leaves room for it to grow into that next drop over at like 2:20, you know? So I think it made for a nice arrangement, and it made for a nice like subversion of expectation there. And I thought that synth that was used there was cool too. It was like percussive and melodic at the same time. Cool, very cool. Yeah, and I agree. The vocal sample, I'm a sucker for a good vocal sample. That was really well executed.
Yes.
Good job, Tiankong Xia. Missing you. Well done, well done. All right, CDT says, my first time submitting to the challenge. I tried to take as much as I could from the sample. All chord stabs pads come from the sample. All right, let's hear this next one from Axis Uno. I'm clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play. Folks, thank you all for tuning in. If you're tuning in late, we do these sample challenges once a month. Join the Discord link that is pinned to the top of the chat. Nice, nice. Cool. Nice. I think obviously we're in the 3-minute time constraint, but I wanted more of that towards the end for sure. I just got to hear that drum fill again because I was like, what just happened? It's just funny. What did you think of this one, Stella?
I liked it. I think it's dance floor ready. It could
I agree.
definitely be played and make people move. And at the beginning, I thought, where is the sample? I don't really hear it. But then towards the end, I definitely heard it coming in. Also, what I read is that everything was made from the sample. So everything was resampled. So
it's interesting that all the instruments were made from the sample, but then finally at the end, we get like the actual sample. That was cool.
Very interesting. Yeah. Also interesting structure. It kind of keeps evolving.
Yes.
Sounds get added, for this genre. It tends to be repetitive, but adding those little ear candy and, little elements can make it more interesting. So
yeah, very cool.
That was definitely done well.
We need the extended club mix now. Axis Uno, thank you so much. That's your first time submitting to a 343 sample challenge, and that is a great first submission. Well done, well done. Okay, let's keep it going. I think we have just a couple more. We got TI-80 Mark. We have a few more, 3 more. TI-80 Mark is up next. I'm going to bring up the YouTube version because there's always some cool little stop motion animation that goes with it. Yes, go to YouTube. All right, this is Are You Really There? Techno Robot Rave. Let's give it a listen.
Sorry, 1 second. I think I lost it a little bit. Where are we? Oh, it's old music.
Oh, I skipped one. You're right. You got me. Old music. Let's do that one first. Of course.
Yes.
But it's also
confused.
YouTube.
I was like, what?
Yes, my bad. All right, alt.
Yeah.
Let's do alt. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, okay. Well, I think if you were driving to work and you were running late and you put this song on, you would get there on time. That's what I think. Okay, that was a lot.
Short but strong.
Yes. What did you think?
Very strong, very energetic.
Yeah.
I liked it. Definitely. Future bassy, dubsteppy.
Yeah. Mix wise,
nice, yeah.
they wrote in the submission like, hey, it's not mixed and it needs to be. The mix isn't good.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely focus on that to bring this track all the way home. I mean, it's short but sweet, so it could definitely likely be extended for sure. But yeah, in terms of all the musical ideas and the arrangement, it's just like high octane energy throughout the whole thing. I think there's like some weird compression stuff going on with dynamics being a little all over the place. But whew, that's like drinking 5 Red Bulls. That track. Wow. All, thank you so much for that submission. I'm sorry that I almost missed you, and please let me know if that is how we say your name and help me spell it in chat, potentially. But yeah, the mix is the next thing. As soon as that mix gets all worked out, if you can make music like that, and there's a playlist out there for that for sure. Fast driving music or whatever it might be. Okay, anyway, now back to our friend TI-80 Mark, who's got the YouTube stop motion video. Are You Really There? Techno Robot Rave. Let's click play on this in 3.
Wait, isn't there one before that as well?
Gosh,
Arena?
what am I doing wrong? One before
I'm
that?
not sure if... yes?
okay.
Is it not?
Well, we did Axis Uno.
Arena?
We did Alt. I don't see an Arena. Correct me if I'm wrong. Before TI-80 Mark.
Yes. Is that a submission or?
No, that is a link to the sample.
Oh,
That was somebody
okay,
asking where
sorry,
the sample
my
is.
bad.
Yeah, it's okay. That is confusing.
My bad. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Mark, I think Stella just doesn't want to listen to your track, if I'm being honest. All right. Let's
Okay,
listen to
let's
it.
go.
Are you sure, Stella? Are you sure? Anything else you want to do before we listen to Mark's track?
Yes. No, it was my bad. Sorry.
All right. We're click and play in 3, 2, 1, play. Wizlow says you're scared of robots. I think that's probably true. Got a little robot funeral situation here. Not the minion. What do they want from us? What do the robots want? All right, TI Mark, very interesting as usual with the animation plus music. I thought that it kind of lost. It kind of got deflated towards the end. Like I want it to be more energy, but maybe it makes sense for the story that's going on. I think maybe the story in this one could have been a bit more clear. I did run a poll and ask who wins in the war, robots or minions. It seems like people are voting by far majority minions. So there's that. And now we'll cut to Stella for a house tour. Stella, what do we got going on?
To open the door because my groceries arrived.
Nice. Okay, great.
Sorry for that, but I'm back.
Oh, nice plants.
Yes, have a lot of plans.
What'd you think of this track?
So I think it's great that you have a consistent sound from the last tracks that I heard, the last two tracks, and this one. It's all in the same genre, so you definitely have a consistent sound going on, which is a great thing to have as a producer. Again, dark vibes. And I could actually hear the sample clearly in this one, which I think is a good point.
Yes.
That the sample was used, even though the vibe was very different, the sample was still used very clearly. So
yeah, what I imagine is you go to TI-80 Mark's house, you sit down on the couch, there's all these like figures and robots and toys around, and he brings you some tea, and then you take one sip of the tea, and then things start to change, and everything starts moving. And
your vision starts
yes.
again.
That's
Yes.
what I imagine
Everything
TI-80
starts
Mark
moving.
has. Yes. All right. Thank you, as usual, TI-80 Mark. Always interesting. 2 more tracks to go today before we'll be selecting our favorite. Wizlow, we got a Bandcamp track. You're killing me with this Bandcamp situation because there's no volume meter that I can control on screen. But peace and love, peace and love. All right. This is Further by Wizlow. I apologize if it's super loud. Oh, I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1, play. $60-40 minions in the poll. Interesting. Hi, Struli. Saw you in chat. Thank you for joining. Kel, nice to see you. All right. Oh, Wizlow with Further. I liked how towards the end, with the sample, it almost sounded like a strummed instrument at a certain point. But what did you think of this track, Stella?
I like the way the sample was processed, like kind of washed out and bubbly,
Right.
and I think it matched the the overall vibe of the track. So that was done really well. Yeah.
For sure.
Other than that, quite mellow and chill
yes.
track. So
I thought a little bit too much flanger or whatever it was towards the end on the sample, but it's okay. It always is just a challenge to mix that type of processed sound. But other than that, very thick mix, especially in the beginning when that bass first comes in. Well done, Wizlow. The only reason I say about the Bandcamp thing, there's actually two reasons. One, I can't control the volume on here, so that's just a mechanical thing for the stream. The other thing is, if people wanted to be like, oh, I really like that track, let me go follow Wizlow, I don't think too many people are using Bandcamp like that. So you'd just be like at a slightly more of an advantage uploading to SoundCloud, where people have accounts and they can follow you and get notified the next time you drop music. So just like a logistical thing there. Not that it matters too much. Of course, it's a personal choice. But finally, we have one more. A lot of you came in down to the wire with these submissions, but Extract is our final submission of the day. Next Gen Dream. Okay, I think that's a change in artist name from the past, but hey, let's give it a listen. The track is called Us. Oh, sorry. I keep we've been doing this all day, and I'm just forgetting I'm supposed to do things. 3, 2, 1, play. That bass is interesting. Cool. Thank you, Extracts, for that final submission of the day. Another one with a cool vocal sample in it. I couldn't really identify the sample, though. I assume it was probably just made into some instrument, but I don't know. Stella, did you hear the sample, or could you identify it?
yeah, I heard an interesting combination of two samples, one a male vocal and a female vocal. Male vocal was more like audible to me. The other one was more baked into the production. So interesting
Yes.
combination of two samples.
Totally.
Also, again, chill vibes. Yeah.
Where was our original sample though? That's my
couldn't
question.
really.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I thought it was this cool evolution vibe. It's very poppy. Somebody in the chat was saying like Justin Bieber, Kygo, The Weeknd all had one. Maybe I don't really hear The Weeknd, but I can hear the Kygo Justin Bieber reference for sure. I think, and especially giving it that section where it goes fully into the sort of rap, where it drops some of the stronger melodic instruments and it just leans more into like percussive rhythmic section. I thought that was a good use of your
I think
arrangement.
again a top line, like an actual top line, would complement this.
Yes,
as
because
well.
we get that filtered vocal sample and it feels like we want to eventually hear like what's the actual vocal and we never
Yeah.
quite get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, something to think about for sure. But hey, Extract, thank you so much for that submission. Well done to everybody who submitted today. We listened to a lot of music, and as
A
usual,
lot. Yes.
it is not easy for us to choose a favorite of the day, and it is totally just subjective. So hopefully everybody could get some value out of today's session, hearing the feedback for everybody's tracks. Hopefully you can take it and improve and make your music even better. It's not really about the prize. It's just a little extra thing that we do on the side. So what we'll do now is we will go ahead and kick it over to some chill lo-fi beats for you all as me and Stella discuss who perhaps our favorite of the day was that will be winning the Arturia V Collection 9. Thank you to Arturia for hooking one lucky winner up with that. And make sure you are signed up over on 343 Studio. The link is in the description. You can join the Discord as well, but on 343 Studio, there's different things like you can meet up with different artists in residence and get some, one-on-one time with them potentially. You can do collaboration workshops and meet other producers that way. There's master classes. There's master classes like happening every week, different live events. It's different from signing up for like a Skillshare or something because there is pre-recorded stuff, but then there's also a bunch of live interactive stuff as well. All right. Everybody, stay tuned. We're going to kick it over to some lo-fi beats, and we'll be back in just a moment to announce our favorite of the day. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, we are back getting ready to tell you about who our favorite submission of the day was. This is not an easy decision, even though it didn't take us that much time. Usually, I think over the course of doing this, we kind of keep in mind our favorites as we go, our standouts as we go. And usually we've been pretty aligned on that. You were saying something before we came back on, Stella, about like creativity. I don't know. Can you just like maybe explain that as sort of like criteria for how we think about who we select as our favorite?
Yeah. I was just saying sometimes that uniqueness and some flavor, something that's a little different, but it's very unique and creative. Sometimes that wins over a track that sounds really good and like perfect and fits all, like checks all the boxes, you know?
Right.
That little flavor, that little creativity, something that's that uniqueness, you know?
Yes. So while if you did not win or get selected as our favorite today, it doesn't mean we didn't like your track. It doesn't mean there was anything wrong with your track even. It could have been a great track, but like it's so hard to choose. So we kind of end up leaning on like, oh, this one was pretty creative and different from a lot of them, but also really well executed. So those two combinations of things create like this perfect storm of what helps us choose. So without further ado, we are going to play for you our winner. And our favorite of the day was Joakim, JV House with The Real Thing. Shout out to Joakim. Congrats, my friend. It was just like a super unique track, different from any of the other tracks we heard, but again, not just about being different, also being about really well executed. And I for sure felt like this was really well mixed in addition to being a really different genre. What did you think about Joakim's track, Stella?
I completely agree. I think it was very creative and unique and also well done, well mixed. You know, everything matched, all the sounds coherent as one track, you know. There was vocals going on, so everything was kind of great. And then the uniqueness and creativeness and how the genres were blended, very interesting.
It all came together quite well. So folks, if you heard a producer or you heard a track that you liked today, please don't forget to go to their pages and give a follow. Everybody, please go give Joakim a follow. I mean, this track is so good and fire, yet Joakim only has 5 followers on SoundCloud, which is almost criminal. But hey, Joakim, congratulations. We're going to be getting in touch, so getting you hooked up with the V Collection 9 from Arturia. And thank you to everybody who is submitting. And you know, we may not have a challenge next month. However, we will probably be back in October, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, make sure you're part of the 343 Labs Discord. Make sure you join over at 343 Studio. The link is in the description. You all can make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have a track review coming up on Saturday for channel members. So channel members, you can go ahead and start posting in our track review channel on my Discord. And that's all I have for you today. Stella, where can people go to check you out? What do you want people to know? All those good things.
I have a new song coming up. It's a deep house track. It's going to be released on Suave. It's the label that I've been trying to get on for a while, so I'm really excited about that. It's coming out in 3 weeks. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, Stella Key Music. I'll be posting everything about my shows and releases and everything there.
Heck yeah.
And thanks so much for having me again. It was so much fun listening to all these different kind of music genres going on with one sample.
It's really always cool. Interesting. Thank you, Stella, for joining. Stella's link is in the description below, so please go give a follow. And shout out to Dungeon Master, who upgraded to a VIP membership. Thank you. All right, everybody, that's it for today's sample challenge. We'll see you in the next one. I'll be live on my channel on Thursday, and that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Tatro and Stella Key. Have a good one.